Anyone else feeling it besides me? I've just been having a rough patch, and I thought, let me come in with like three of these. I recorded it. Of course, my phone ran out of space, and not the time to buy a new phone yet, at least. I don't know. And then as I went through them off camera, I just thought, why is it the same? Because I really wanted three different messages and a hope message, and none of them are. And I don't know if that's, I know people love the more positive message and everyone flocks to those kind of readers, but who knows? I'm just going to post this and maybe someone resonates, because not to say misery love company, but maybe more like, if we know others are going through the challenge, we get through it too. So this first one, basically what I did was, it's supposed to be like who this group is, what they're going through, why, what can help, and the outcome. And it's going to get interesting because as I get more cards, there's like more cards for the outcome, but it's almost like you have to go through stage 1, stage 2, then stage 3. Like they don't want to tell you in advance. Like part of your lesson is going through it, and I think that makes sense because you've got this one with, you've got to master your emotions, you've got to master your outer, like what you're showing to the world, and your movement, being graceful still. It definitely starts with the two queens are the masters, and then you see the pages, which is more like apprenticeship, and it's interesting to go from queen to page. That's something I thought of myself too, where I'm kind of like, I'm done, with where I am now. This is the 9. It's like really close to done, but not. And it's not the 10 where you are completed and you can go on. It's like that one frustrating step to completion, and you're like, why is it not happening? Why am I so close? Why am I being held back? And we don't know. And I guess it could be because we have something to learn, or maybe because our energy, our old energy ties us down, or we're so used to this and there might be comfort here that we're afraid to go here. And we're like self-sabotaging ourselves somehow, even though outwardly it looks like we've got it together, you know. And maybe people are out there calling you like, hey queen, because they're like, you're doing it, and you're kind of like I'm you're not talking about it, over here eyes are closed, over here I was gonna say you got the back, but you're not seeing, people aren't really seeing you. They're not. And actually it's kind of interesting because it's like kind of like a little bit of moment move, like yes, your face is forward and then it starts going sideways and then you kind of turn complete direction. These two are opposite direction. But like I said, like what people see here isn't what you see. The eyes are closed. This is like the queen that is actually, for me, feels like it's leaving, like it's in the night, it's sneaking away almost. And there's all this stuff that looks beautiful on the outside, and yet you're willing to give it up, and maybe even like give up if it's a high paid job but toxic, where they're making you do all the work. You're willing to try something new and go through this door looks all shabby, like just newly made, and you have no idea what's going to happen, but maybe you go for it. So that was the first one. The second one, yeah, I'm just going to stack them on top of each other. The second set was, now you're seeing some guy that, again, the face thing matters again. He's a mime. He's not showing his true self, but now you've got someone who is outwardly performing, who is juggling. And then what's sad is this is a grenade. So it's like, for the business, he would juggle all this crazy stuff. But yet, so this is like who you are, what you're going through, why, what can help, and then the outcome, right? And what can help is, actually, you got to get away. See, this is the second one that says get away, because you're amongst all these people, but you still feel alone. You feel like they can't help you. No one's even looking at you. You're again you're facing the wrong way. Everyone's going this way, you're facing that way. You're like on defense. And then you feel like there's so many people attacking you. Whether this is true or whether it's like becoming just this mental toll from the past of going through this over and over and over. And it's saying like, take a big leap. And whether that leap is out of here or... Oh my God, that was funny. That was like, get out of here. Whoa, that was crazy. That was also kind of scary, actually. One of the other card I flipped to the back was the Tower card, so that's why I find this funny too. And it's funny now, but not really funny in real life, because it sucks in real life, okay? It sucks in real life to go through this and to be wondering, when am I going to be free? When am I going to get help? What is my next thing? Oh, actually, this is flipped for some reason. And this one could be taking the big step of asking someone for help and putting yourself in their face. Or for me, I don't feel like it's asking for the help, because here's the city and here's stepping out of the city. And here is, these are very similar. These are back to sort of the public eye, and kind of leads back to originally with the queens. But it's like, oh, that is the Queen of Wands too. Like now, instead of directing, because with the Queen of Wands there was movement, and here there's a Queen of Wands, but a sitting one that's like action, but you directing it instead of action, you moving it. And then there's this one, which is the Fool, which is like this elevated version of this. It's kind of like the prince of the mime, and you got the page energy again, sort of like restarting, doing something different. And it's like also here raising hand, which kind of, reminded me of like, maybe ask for help, because we're not asking, because there are people here, people are helping here, people are not. And sort of like, what does it hurt if you ask and you look like a fool, but you're still you doing it, so you might as well ask for help? Or do you want to change and direct your life, or do you want to stay doing what you're doing now, but be this elevated version of this guy? I hope that makes sense. So, like I said, more not nice cards. Wait, I think I lost a card somewhere. Yes, I did. Okay. What happened? I thought there was another, because there was 3 for sure. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. There we go. It's like that. Got it. But also, like I was mentioning earlier, this was the tarot card at the bottom that I was about to bring over. It really feels like that. So who you are, again, it shows sort of, this reminds me of like 3 wise men and people who can, work together, who can go. This is like a high mountain, it's climbing Mount Everest versus your local hike. That's who you guys are, who we are. And this sun energy is very king energy, but so far there's like a lot of, in the beginning, not the king energy, if that makes sense, even like at the end there. So this to me actually ends up being more of a burnout than king energy, because if you look, it's like the light's kind of dimming over there, and this one is sort of like a mini explosion, But if you think about the sun versus like a snake holding a dandelion, it's not the watts that you need, you know. And it's the hermit card again, but this time instead of what you're going through, it's um, your why, strangely, and it keeps leading towards you gotta go solo. Like you gotta, yeah, you can't take those with you now with you. So you did what you did. You became the queen, the star, the key performer, whatever you want to call it. They burned you out. They used you up. Basically, right? You have to like still create your own light, and you barely get a little bit of it. You're like trying to get away again. Defensive mode here. Defensive mode here. Um, you're trying to do something. You know what helps is like here needing a big idea, but also needing an even bigger weapon to defend yourself versus these are stick. This is like sharper. Ouchie, ouchie. Here, even she walks through with looks like two batons or something, or lights even, kind of. I don't know. The bottom here looks like light. And then this one, again, similar to this Queen of Wands, it's going in that direction, going forth. But it's like going forth with so much caution and yet attack in a way. It's like you're, see, like here you're equipped to attack, but you're not really. It's like you attack just to defend yourself. But otherwise, you don't really want to attack. And this kind of reminded me of the dandelion where you just blow and poof, you know, like everything just disperses everywhere and it's a mess. It's just horrible. And so funny. See, this sword came out. This is Father of Sword versus Page of Sword. And this outcome, unfortunately, is someone who, because of their experience, is, I would caution against saying something sharp, but I know it's getting there because it's just sucks. It sucks so much and you can't hold it in. And if you can direct your energy to something else, that might help versus like directing it back at the people who you're frustrated with. I know, usually you're supposed to go address that person, but as I'm seeing, it's not going to work because they keep seeing you as the fool, and maybe you see them that same way, you know. And then it forces you to action, but yet this is sort of like hot feet, right? Like, oh my gosh, there's hot stones, I better get moving, instead of like being able to really think and plan. And so what can you do now is, again, they're not really telling us what to do. They're really showing us just sort of our pain and like recognizing it and wanting us to also recognize it in ourselves and not just like, we're getting to victim mindset and we're getting to pointing fingers. So just be careful that we're not the fools. Like, be careful that we're not accusing others of what is of ourselves, and or end up getting so burnt out that you stoop to their level, you know. And this is like the emotions of needing that clarity, needing yet another, I don't want to call it dark night of soul. I don't want to take us there, honestly. Like we can kind of quietly go when we're certain of our path and we light our own way, but don't like be forced out by them, and don't be forced to do what they're wanting and needing of us. Like, do what you're wanting and needing for yourself. And that leads us back to what is that, because we don't know. Like, we are lost. We are, oh my God, that looks like the queen's head chopped off. We are people who have been strong, and then we kind of lost it somewhere. We might have played their game back, And so they, as in our guides, not they as in the others, the people, want us to sort of, I think, this tower moment, nip it on the bud. You know, you can just like trim the top and you don't have to cut down the whole tree. Um, this indicates having strong skill set, strong foundation, you know, including a strong mind, strong will, strong drive, good ideas, you know, and, you know, if they're opposing your ideas, don't let them win, right? Don't let them sabotage you. Like, even if you can't run with your ideas, still keep it. It's good. You can use it somewhere down the line. They're not saying when or where, whatever the reason is. Oh, it does show. Yay. I was going to say, I was drawn to this deck because I actually lost this card. My husband found it while vacuuming. And it's this card. Oh, this card. And to me, it was sort of like a portal. Like if the portal is finally opening and you get a glimpse, but you don't get to step through yet. Sort of like this one, the world card, where say she's kind of stepping through, but she's not through. She's kind of like, by stepping through, she's created that rift. But it's funny now, this looks also like an eye. Like there's so many people looking at you, and you have to let go of the idea that people are like your ego tied to these people. Like you have to let go of they're looking at you or you're basing a decision on them. You know, it's going back to the so what, you know. Like none of their business. You got to focus on you being that queen and knowing, and no one has to see you, and you don't have to tell people, and you just have to do it, and you don't have to prop this opportunity door, whatever, for anyone else, because these twigs are meant to snap shut. Once you go through, it's just you. Like I said, you're not going to carry anyone else, especially whoever is afraid of what you've been doing, you know, and are more likely to be even more burnt out, or say more things, wear a fake mask, you know, because I think we're gonna have to rip off our mask, you guys. We're gonna have to show our true self, but we don't know. At least I don't know what that is. Who is real me? I kind of forgot. Who am I supposed to be going forward? I still don't know. For people who figured out, great. I still don't know. There is a lot of openings at the end though, because the portal thing was an opening. This is like an opening right there. That looks also like an opening. You know, maybe our options are few, but maybe we do at least get to pick two things. Although I suspect, I kind of know what the two thing is. I think it's going to be choosing to stay or choosing to leave. And it's telling you it's better to go, but no one can make you go through. You just have to take that step. And you can stay here thinking about it and hiding and stuck in the challenge, or you can go forward one step at a time. And even if you mess up, you gotta go, and you gotta not care what they say or think. You just gotta go through. It's so scary, you guys, because now we're directing something bigger, but we don't know what, and we can't see it, and we might be not all cleared out yet. But ironically, I don't feel the energy of like clear it out. I feel it like move first, then clear. Like, you know how usually it's like ground yourself and then you can do the next thing, you know. But this is sort of like, nah, screw that. Like, get out of here, go. This reminds me of another message I had. I forgot what it was, but it was very that too. It was very like emergency, things are flooding or there's a fire. Like you can't stay. You just gotta go. You can't be like, hang on, like let me be calm. You're like, nope, go. I guess that's the final message.